Beloved, something is waiting to be accepted. Not one day, not in a far-off future that is hard to imagine from where you are at the moment. Not during a time when you have to put up with yet another protracted period of invisible waiting before you can start to experience what was promised. The fields of your life are laden with fruit that has been quietly, slowly, and dutifully growing beneath the surface where you are unable to perceive it during this exact season and day. The harvest has arrived in the areas where your hands cannot touch, your eyes cannot reach, and your measuring devices cannot detect any movement at all. And I need you to comprehend something that completely alters everything before you move forward into this new day. Something that makes sense of everything you've been going through. Something that makes sense of every challenging phase you have experienced thus far. It's time to stop waiting. The planting season came to an end. In the secret locations, the growth season came to an end. You have never experienced a season like the one you are in right now, because all of my promises are fully carried by this one. You buried every seed with tears, all of your silent acts of faith. You trusted me for a time, and then you were afraid that I was listening. I was paying attention. I listen all the time. And now the solution to all of your prayers, hopes, and everything you planted in the dark, watered with tears and cared for with constancy. That answer is standing at the edge of the field, fully developed, fully ready, fully abundant, and moving toward you right now, even when tending seemed futile and the ground showed no indications of life. Like individual seeds strewn across a vast field, there may have been one or more instances throughout your life when you knelt down and planted something in the soil of eternity. Some of you can pinpoint the exact moment, a prayer so sincere that it shook your entire body, a total surrender that made you feel as though something had been released inside your chest, a true moment of faith that cost you more than you anticipated. Making the choice to trust when doing so felt like walking on a dangerous path while wearing a blindfold. You recall that instance. You recall the sensation of letting go of self-control, reaching out into the unseen and declaring, "I believe even here, even now, even in this." There was not a single spectacular planting moment for the rest of you. Instead, over the course of 1,000 typical days, you planted in 1,000 tiny, silent, devoted ways. When obeying felt like going into the dark without a flashlight, you complied. You showed patience when it was actually the hardest thing anyone could have asked of you. When all your instincts told you to push harder or give up, you opted for the more difficult and supernatural route of patiently waiting. You were faithful in partnerships that did not always return the favor. You dedicated your efforts to causes that did not always recognize or honor the sacrifice you were making. When you felt like you were speaking into an empty room, you prayed. When your words bounced back down to the floor around your knees and the ceiling appeared to be composed of solid concrete. Nevertheless, you persisted in speaking, reaching, and having faith that your words would be heard. You shed tears even if you were unable to sense their arrival. Tears are among the most honest seeds a person can sow. Thus, this is something I wish to really honor. Tears are not the result of acting or pretending. Tears cannot be faked or coerced because they originate from a place so profound and sincere. The tears you wept over your beliefs, the people you hoped for, and your dreams that didn't seem strong enough to endure. Because those tears bore the entire weight of your true heart, they sank into the earth like seeds of enormous strength. And nothing affects me more deeply than the weight of a sincere heart. Everything you put in the earth is now prepared to come back to you. Every silent choice to believe in spite of the stillness, every prayer, every sacrifice. Every morning, despite your body's want to stay down, you made the decision to get up and continue. It all poured into the soil each time you made the decision to show kindness when your own tank was empty and to provide grace to someone else when you were the one who most needed it. It was all received. Eyes that watched every second of your voyage with total focus and profound love did not lose, ignore, or overlook a single particle. Before anything else in this message reaches you, I want to establish that reality as the cornerstone of your comprehension. You didn't lose anything you sowed. That's not a consoling statement. It is not a bandage that is applied temporarily to an open wound. The universe I created is governed by this spiritual reality. Like the stars I hoisted in the sky, the tides I set in motion, and the seasons I ordained to follow one another with perfect constancy since the beginning of created time, this law is unchangeable, permanent, and dependable. What is sowed will be manipulated. There will be harvesting of what is planted. Giving with trust will result in an abundance that surpasses the amount provided. Just as a tree grows beyond the seed from which it originated, this promise is not contingent on your consistency, your deservingness, or the caliber of your spiritual performance on any particular day. This law is ingrained in the very fabric of existence, created by me before the beginning of time. All of the seeds you have ever planted, the ones you planted with trembling hands, the ones you planted with tears in your eyes, the ones you planted when you weren't positive they would sprout, and the ones you planted on the days when your faith seemed like the tiniest, most brittle thing in the world, are operative in your life right now. Scarcely sufficient, scarcely alive, yet always sufficient. Because a harvest can be produced with faith as small as a mustard seed that is sincere and honestly planted in the ground. You are about to receive a genuine, physical, particular, and bountiful harvest. And I want to explain it to you in a way that will enable you to fully understand it. Because people can spend so much time waiting that they forget how to act during the receiving season. When the harvest finally arrives, they hardly notice it because they are so used to holding on, trusting without seeing, and moving on without tangible proof of progress. They stand in the middle of a bountiful field, wondering if they are permitted to begin gathering because they are so accustomed to the planting season. They question the blessing. To eliminate the possibility of disappointment if it turns out they were mistaken, they minimize the miracle. 100-fold crop is given to them, but it is handled cautiously and tentatively by someone who anticipates being informed that it was an error and must be returned. Right now, I wish to free you from that inclination. You own the harvest. You waited, you watered, and you planted. Every growing season had long stretches of unseen progress, doubtful moments, and quiet times, but you persisted through them all. Now that the season has changed, you hold the harvest that is rightfully yours as a devoted planter. Accept it wholeheartedly with both hands, with an open and eager heart, without regret, and without the diminution of false humility that labels abundance excessive and retreats from what was lovingly and freely provided. I want you to see the complete picture of every transaction that took place between your faith and my faithfulness during your journey. Allow me to go into detail about what you planted. When you sowed seeds in your life of prayer, even during times when it seemed dry, remote, and entirely one-sided. When you continued to participate in a conversation where it seemed like you were the only one speaking, and when you didn't get the answers you were hoping for, and the stillness went on for so long that it became a response in and of itself. Some of the most potent seeds you ever sowed in the soil of eternity were the ones. Because a prayer of remarkable faith is one that endures in silence. With each breath, it conveys a message. Even though I can't feel you, I think you're there. Even if I can't see the work, I think you're working. Even though the response did not arrive in the format I requested or at the time I required, I think the channel between us is still open. That type of faith, the kind that functions without any immediate proof. Faith that is independent of emotions, situations, or outward manifestation. The greatest harvest is produced by such trust. It is the most productive faith to communicate and the most difficult to uphold, and you conveyed it via the silence, the darkness, and the long hours when you were unsure of what you were aiming for, yet persisted in doing so. And not a single word you prayed went unheard. Every genuine attempt to reach me was met with a response. In the invisible domain, the answers were being put together. Only from the opposite side of the harvest could they see how precisely they were being positioned, lined and timed. Now you're on the other side. From this point on, you can start to see things that you were unable to see during the journey. It's clear that each silent season was truly a time for preparation. How each delay contained the precise growth that was required. How the seemingly pointless way turned out to be the most direct route to precisely this location, precisely this harvest season that is currently upon you. When you chose the longer and more expensive route of being honest, when dishonesty would have been simpler, quicker, and more immediately profitable, those seeds of integrity grew into a harvest of trustworthiness that will shape your entire future. Sometimes people don't understand why they have faith in you. When they have to pick between people, they can't always explain what it is about your presence that gives them a sense of security, makes them want to entrust you with responsibility, or makes them choose you. I have the most wonderful narrative to tell, and you are a part of it. I'm telling it through your life too. Amen. If this message resonated with you, forward it to someone who needs to hear it right now. Someone in your life is currently planting, sowing seeds into hard ground and wondering when they will be harvested. Spread the word and show them what lies beyond the faithful wait. Put amen in the comments if these words struck you with the weight of something genuine and intimate. Let the community of devoted planters get together now and proclaim that the harvest has arrived. The pledge is still in effect. The seed was never lost. Your statement is important. Speaking out about your faith fosters a sense of anticipation. We enter the harvest that was always on the horizon as a group of people who made the decision to believe even if it was the toughest thing we had ever done.